Our planet is covered in curious geological formations, many of which we still can't fully explain. Over millions of years, the forces of wind, water, fire, and ice have carved the world's surface to make it what it is today. And researchers are still finding surprises everywhere. Strange gaps and cabins, some of the strangest things you'll find in before you're accidentally falling. It's time to show you the 11 most dangerous holes on Earth. Like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now. Number 11. Mysterious holes in Siberia. At the vast frozen plains of Siberia are some of the most remote and inhospitable places on Earth. But some of the most unusual are the crater-like holes that were discovered in the permafrost. They've led to a number of theories as to what could have caused them. Are they marks left behind by an alien spaceship? Or perhaps the result of a meteor that broke in half before it landed on the ground? Or maybe something else entirely? On the deleted theories, and perhaps more surprising than anything else, involves a little that we actually know about. With permafrost regions like this, it's long been known that the frozen ground contains large amounts of gas and carbon deposits, and when it thaws, it releases it all into the atmosphere. Could it be possible that after releasing what it contains, large enough gaps are formed that can cause the ground to sink in on itself? Researchers are now starting to believe this is more likely and expect to see phenomena like this forming far more frequently throughout the frozen regions on Earth. Number 10. The hole in Lake Burissa. Lake Burissa is one of the largest man-made water deposits in California, but in recent years, something truly strange has been happening with the appearance of a gigantic hole. The lake is held in place by a dam and provides water to homes and businesses across the region. It was built with a 72-foot diameter pipe in it, just in case the water levels rise too high and threaten the integrity of the dam. And in recent years, that's exactly what happened. When you see the water at a lower level, the glory hole as it's known, looks like a concrete structure in line with the rest of the dam. When the hole was built in 1957, officials only thought it would be needed every 50 years or so. But the change in climate in the past few years has meant that much more rain is falling than normal, that the hole has been needed almost every year. Despite channeling 48,000 cubic feet of water per second, it doesn't create a strong current tourism, and so it isn't considered to be a danger to boaters and other users of the lake. That doesn't mean you should be overconfident though, because in 1997, one swimmer was sucked into it and her body was found downstream 3 hours later. Number 9. Dean's Blue Hole. The Bahamas is known around the world for their beautiful beaches, incredible sea life, and wonderfully warm and clear water. But there's an amazing structure just off the coast of Clarence Town on an island, a place called Dean's Blue Hole. Blue holes are formed when a sinkhole opens up underwater and the entrance remains beneath the surface. This one is one of the deepest that's ever been discovered and descends to around 663 feet, and at the top, it takes on a circular shape that's about 100 feet. Once you go 66 feet deep into it, it opens up into a cavernous around 330 feet across. The water here is incredibly clear, and on a good day, the visibility can be as far as 115 feet. The stillness of the water means that it's a popular site for freedivers, and is where many of the freediving depth records have been set in the past decade. Since 2008, it has been the location of the annual Vertical Blue competition. The sea divers come from all over the world and see how far into the depths they can reach on one breath. Number 8. Holes appear in sand dunes. Depending on the desert you're looking at, sand dunes can be transient features that shift and move in whatever direction to prevail and wind is blowing, such as the ones that can be found at Mount Baldy. In 2013, a 6-year-old boy was walking across the dunes when suddenly he vanished beneath the sand into a huge hole. The rescue effort took 3 hours to retrieve him after he ended up more than 11 feet below the sand and sediment. Since then, more holes like this have begun to appear and force authorities to close the park that's just 55 miles to the southeast of Chicago. For a while, they had no idea what was happening, but after scanning the region with ground-penetrating radar, they came across an answer. Old photos had shown the area to once be full of trees, which had since been covered over by the sand. As water seeped through, the debris is decaying and leaving gaps and instabilities in the sand. All it takes is slight pressure from above, and the whole lot can collapse. There's no fix to this problem, because it's being caused by the unstable foundations of the dunes. So right now, access to the region is strictly controlled. Number 7. Guatemala Sinkhole. Doesn't matter where you live, there's always a slight risk that a sinkhole could open up beneath your home or street and swallow up everything above it. Luckily, these events are quite rare, but human activity can on some occasions make it far more likely. This image was taken of a sinkhole that opened up in the streets of Guatemala City in 2010, and as you can see, the 300-foot deep and 60-foot wide crater took everything with him. Sinkholes aren't that uncommon in the city. After all, Guatemala was built in a place where the first few thousand feet of ground is made up of volcanic debris that can be eroded more easily than normal Earth. But this particular hole was much bigger than anyone thought possible. After investigation, though, it began to appear increasingly likely that it was the result of construction work. It happened soon after a rainstorm that saturated the ground with water and would have disturbed the top layer, but it's thought that either a burst water pipe or a drain pipe have been releasing water into the cavity for far longer, and it's slowly been carving the hole out and just needed an extra push to open it. Luckily, when it happened, there were no people above it, because if they had been, they wouldn't have stood a chance. Number 6. The Dead Sea Holes. The Dead Sea is so named because the water has such high mineral concentrations. But in recent years, changes in the environment have led to a series of giant sinkholes opening up on its shores. The sea is actually shrinking, and at a surprisingly fast rate of about 3 feet a year. Because water has been diverted away from the rivers that feed it, the consequence of this is now making it dangerous for visitors and raising questions about whether people should even be allowed to go there at all. As the salty water recedes, fresh groundwater wells up through the ground and dissolves the layers of salt that have been deposited by the sea over thousands of years. This creates large cavities beneath the surface, and once they breach through the top layer, a sinkhole is formed. There's no pattern to where they appear, and efforts are underway to try and predict where the next ones will form. Without the ability to do so, there will be an increase in danger that some will be sucked in, and if they are, there will be virtually no way to rescue them. Number 5. Udakhnaya Pipe. Udakhnaya Pipe is a deposit of diamonds in the Sakha Republic in Russia. It's just outside the Arctic Circle, and since it was first discovered in 1955, it has become the third deepest open pit mine in the world. Owned in the Troll by Alrosa, a Russian diamond company, it descends more than 2,100 feet beneath the surface and is one of the most productive diamond mines in the world. It's estimated to contain in the region of 225.8 million carats of diamonds, which equate to a weight of 45.16 tons. And with the current technologies, more than 10.4 million carats are retrieved every year. When you see the mine in all its glory from aerial shots, you can see how astonishingly huge it is. The ridges along its walls are purposefully designed to provide ground access for vehicles into the central pit of the mine. And with current progress operations, work should be able to continue for at least another 20 years. When all the diamonds have been removed, however, no one quite knows what will happen to the hole. It'll likely just be left there, rather than being filled in, and will remain a testament to the extent we as a species will go to acquire the things we deem most valuable. Number 4. The Forest of Guangxi. China's Forest of Guangxi is a huge region, covered with a thick canopy of trees, but when a giant sinkhole opened up, the researchers were desperate to take a closer look. What they'd find when they got there in 2018 was what they described as a world-class geological wonder. The sinkhole leads to a huge underground cavern that has an estimated volume of 236 million cubic feet. The expedition team carefully lowered themselves the 387 feet to the cave floor and measured the structure has been 328 feet wide and 656 feet long. In it, there are stone corridors, holes, craters, stone pillars, and strange rock formations called cave pearls, which are formed by water that passes over small pieces of stones over centuries, and they smoothed them into perfect spheres. They also discovered a shaft that led from the cave into an underground river, which itself led to the nearby Panyang River. Discoveries like this are vital to understanding what lies beneath the surface of our planet, and it's thought that the crust could be more like a honeycomb than being made of a thick rock. There could potentially be thousands of caves of this size underneath the surface across the world, and we'd have very little chance of knowing about them until it's too late. Number 3. The Black Hole of Andros. While the Bahamas are home to many blue holes in the oceans, on one of the islands is something far less welcoming and much more dangerous. It was found on South Andros and is referred to as a black hole because of the dark color of its water. It's been measured to be around 154 feet deeper, and rather than being formed by water erosion, this hole has been formed by chemical erosion. This is a place of important scientific interest because the water here is just like what the oceans were around 3.5 billion years ago. And this water can show us what it was like when the first life form began to emerge. Only official science missions are allowed to dive here. That soon becomes clear why, at a depth of around 60 feet, there's a 3-foot thick purple layer that's made up of extremely toxic bacteria that are surrounded by hydrogen sulfide. As you approach it, it looks so dark that at first you'd think it was the floor of the hole, but beneath it is a whole different world. It's a boundary that separates the oxygenated water above with the deoxygenated water below, and it's this region that researchers are most interested in exploring. It's not fully clear what's down there, but it's hoped that improved diving technology will allow teams to explore it more fully than ever before. Number 2. Mystery Hole in Oregon's Lost Lake. Oregon's Lost Lake normally covers an area of about 79 acres, and during the winter is quite shallow and surrounded by pine and willow trees. When you see it like this, there doesn't seem to be much unusual about this place. It's just like any other lake, right? But you'd be wrong, because the true mystery of this place only reveals itself during the summer months. The level of the lake begins to lower, and at about the same time every year, a giant hole opens up within it that sucks away all of the water. The lake completely vanishes, and soon it's replaced by a flourishing meadow. But how is this possible? The answer is that there are 2 large lava tubes that lead from the lake, and it's through these that all the water escapes. They're always there, and don't just decide to open whenever they please, but they do have a limited capacity that they can drain at any one time. During the fall and winter, when it's the rainy season, the amount of water that enters the lake exceeds the amount that's being drained out, so it fills up. When things are drier in the summer, the opposite becomes true, and that's why the lake seems to magically disappear. Number 1. Gates of Hell. If there ever was a place on Earth that's truly the gateway to the underworld, then there's a hole in the Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan that certainly can lay claim to be anything. In 1971, Soviet geologists were searching for natural gas deposits and drilled through the crust about 4 miles away from the small village of Dewey. They had no idea how much gas they were about to find, and it would turn out to be far more than they could handle. A large cavern opened up, and the drilling rig along with some of the scientists fell into the hole. A crater was formed that was 230 feet wide and 65.5 feet deep, and it began to release vast quantities of methane into the atmosphere. Even back then, this was seen as a dangerous problem, so scientists came up with a solution that set fire to it to burn all of the methane, and the methane still hadn't ran out within a week. They threw a grenade in to start the fire, but their plan didn't go as expected. Almost 50 years later, the flames continue to burn, and it's actually become one of the country's most popular tourist sites. Despite investigations into how to extinguish the flames once and for all, however, no one has any solution beyond letting it burn itself out. Which of these did you find to be the most dangerous, and did it surprise you that there are so many strange holes on the planet? Make sure to let us know in the comments section, and also, like this video, smash that subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now.